right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Woo, woo. Warm-up 35 is on the screen. This should be like a review. And today we're going to revisit some of these concepts. Like I said, I gave you a simple intro at the beginning of the school year. Been practicing these. Today's going to go a little bit more deeper into that area. Thank you, Mr. Q. You're welcome. I'll give you some time. Go. All right, so it looks like we got all of them in. Thank you very much. Number one, what are the measures of central tendency, Andres? Yes, hands if you got that. Yes, okay, just a reminder. And looks like, let me look through the work. My goodness. Okay, mean, I see 6.6, hands if you got that. All right. Median 7.5, hands if you got that. And the mode, was it 8? Hands if you got that. Yeah. And some of you computed the range. Did it take to compute the range? No? Okay. And the box plot. All right. All right, so with that said, copy the agenda for today. Warm-up number 35, measure central tendencies. We're revisiting today. And tonight you only have 2 problems. How about that? Pretty good, yeah? Only. Forgot to write only right there, right? Just when she looks at me like, okay, 2 problems. All right. So we're good with like anywhere from 6 to 10 numbers to find the mean, median, mode, right? We good? Well, how about if it's more? No. Anyways, previous home plate was to have a nice weekend, so we did pretty good, yeah? All right. Home plate is only these 2 problems. If you want to take your phone out and take a picture like that, you don't have to go searching for it. That's fine. It's only 2. Okay, we got it? All right. And let's see, and I'll try and give you a code at the end for Nearpod so you can access it by yourself. All right, so get a Cornell note ready. You don't need a Frere model. We already introduced the mean, median, and mode, or the measure central tendency at the beginning of the school year, or I think it was 2nd or 3rd week. So you already have those, but copy the objective. Give you some time to set up. Copy and. All right, here we go. Our objective for today: I can summarize data and compute the measures of central tendency. Sorry, it's kind of weird because I was having a bar earlier, and I don't know if it's happened to you that sometimes you bite into the food and all of a sudden you bite either your lip or your tongue. Well, I did both. How about that? Anyways, so pardon my slurring. All right. So measures of central tendency, we're going to revisit today. You already did that on the warm-up, but of course now with more numbers, of course. Come on, let's go. Just a quick recap, don't copy this. The measures, we know that they're the mean, median, mode. So if I was to give you the data set as follows, of course to find the mean, you add all numbers, divide by the number of items. How do you find the mean, the median? They need to be organized from least to greatest, and go to the one in the middle. There it is. And the mode is the one that happens the most. So here was 75. Okay, 9 examples. I gave you guys something like this. The range is not part of the measure central tendency. We still use it, and it's part of a second section of statistics that we're going to be covering hopefully tomorrow or the day after. But I just wanted to mention that. And I remember we did notes on this, and you have these. Okay. Once again, mean, median, and mode. Any questions with mean, median, and mode? We good? Yes? All right. Steps, we organize data from least to greatest, identifying the mean, median, mode. You don't need to copy this. You already have it. And at the end, we summarize or analyze by comparing the data. Okay? All right. You do need to copy these, though. Formulas. What formulas have we covered? Now, I hardly ever give you formulas because I want you to actually know how to do the work. Does that make sense? We've been doing the work, but I haven't given you formulas. Here's the first one. Have we gotten percentages? Yes. To get the percent, we take the frequency divided by the total of number of items, and then at the end multiply times 100. That's the actual formula. We actually did the work and computation in a column. You guys remember that? Yes? For the pie graph. What else did we use in the pie graph? We found the degrees. Is that correct? All right, so to find the degrees, we take the frequency divided by the number of items times 364 degrees. Very good. All right. What else did we do once we had given, Fatima, once we were given data, what do? Hey, we find the range, highest minus the lowest. What is the second step in setting up your frequency table? Tell your neighbor, please, see if they remember. Yeah, we find the what? Find the what? Let's see, Pedro, what do we find? Very good, the width. So the width, you find it by taking the range divided by the number of classes that you're going to divide your data. Did your neighbor say that? Yeah? Okay, good. Today we're going to add a couple more formulas. Now, this is where I guess people might get confused at the fact that it looks like we're doing repetitive work as we go along. Who's noticed on when we do the standard deviation? It seems like we're doing the same work twice. Do you guys notice that? When we find the mean, and then we find the difference from the mean to the to each of the items, and then we find the mean again, and we take the square root. That's how we find the standard deviation. People somehow get confused with that. I don't know why. And in college, the same thing. People that are, if you're watching, sorry guys, those of you in college, if you're watching, I know it gets confusing, but that's how it is. Because when we do data, we do it to two different groups. We either do it for the entire population, or we do it to a smaller group, which is known as a sample. That's why the work repeats twice. That's why we need to understand when we look at certain symbols, which one is for which. Like these two formulas for today. Look up. Before you copy them, tell your neighbor what's the same and what is different. All right, go ahead and copy those. And basically, that's the formula to find the mean for two different groups. The first one, this one is the mean, but it's of a sample. And this one is the mean of the total population. But the process is the same. Copy that. I'll give you some time. Okay? All right, just to make sure, I just want to make sure we understand what we're looking at. Sample mean, population mean. Okay? So population is the entire population, yes? Whereas the sample is just a section of the entire population. So population is the entire population. The sample is only a part of. Kind of like this, and I think we already covered this again like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And I said, it's kind of like if from this school we have a bunch of classrooms, right? But they decided to, instead of taking the entire population, they only take a sample, which would be our class, room 106 here with Mr. Q, statistics, and they take us for pizza, right? That'll be a sample instead of the whole population. Okay? Now, the only difference, hopefully you notice on the formulas, is this, to get started. This one, label it. This is known as mu. Yeah, like the cow, mu. But it's the Greek letter M, but the lowercase. If you notice, it's a lowercase m. Yes. What do you think M stands for? Tell your neighbor, please. M stands for what? Aside from mu. Look at the formula. Oh my goodness. And tell your neighbor what M stands for. Hopefully they know what you mean. Yeah, so M stands for what? Mean. Yes, that's why we use the letter M for mean, but it's in Greek it's known as mu. Okay, but this is for the population, and over here we use this is known as the X bar. That's how we pronounce it, X bar. Okay? What else do you notice? That for the sample mean, we have a lowercase n, and for the population, we have a uppercase n for the total number of items. Okay? All right. We good? All right. One last practice for the measures of central tendency with very little numbers. Is that okay? Yeah? Copy this one, example Q. Last one of these baby ones. Find the mean, median, mode, and range this time of the data set. 4, 7, 8, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2. Copy that. I'll give you extra practice time. Ready and... All right. So as you're submitting your work, here goes the process. I'm going to do this one more time. So, organize it from least to greatest. 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 7, 8. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, all right. So from there, we can find the mean by adding them all and dividing by 8. So this is, let's see, 10, 20, 30. So it's 30 divided by 8. Is that correct? Yeah, 30 divided by 8. So that fits in there 3 times. That fits in there 7. 5. So it's 3.75. And this is my, let's say this is a sample, so I'm going to say the mean. Okay. Median. So I need to go to the middle, and that is these two. So that's 6 divided by 2, and that is 3. Median. So far so good, yes? Mode. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3. So the mode is 3. And last but not least, the range, we got 8 minus 1, which is 7. And so you got that? From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? Yeah, we got it, right? So do we need another one of these, or are we good? We're good, right? Bam! Let's go to this one. All right. Example 1, write that down. Example 1. Oh, that's so fun. So example 1, it shows, and it reads, record high temperatures in Fahrenheit in the U.S. Construct a group frequency table or distribution for the data using 7 classes. But look what it says right after. It says, after they give us all the data, or the raw data, it says, find the mean of the group data set. That's something different that we're going to do today, but it has to do with the mean as well, okay? So, to get started, you know how to do these, is that correct? All right, so that you are able to circle stuff and highlight stuff, I'm going to forward to the screen where you can actually scribble or do stuff. So to get us started, tell your neighbor the first 2 things you're going to do to get our table started. What is the first 2 things we shall do? First 2 things. All right, let's see. First 2 things. Amy, what's the first thing? The range. That is correct. So, let's see. Help me out for the range. I'm going to write it right over here on the side. Do that in blue. All right, tell me what to write. Maddie, go. $100. That's the highest? Oh. Okay. I'll give you some time. How about that? Tell your neighbor the second thing after the range. What's the second thing you're going to do with that? All right. Good. I think Melissa's got it. Very good. All right. I'll give you some time for those 2, and then I'll call on someone. Hurry up. Help us out with the range. Jet, go. What do I write? 27. 1 what? 127. 127?
You want this like, you want this, I thought 27.
What? Help us out, JC, what do I write for the range? Uh-huh. Yes, which is? 34. Hands if you got that. So far the range, we got it, okay? The second thing we were going to do is what, Amy? The width. So for the width, of course, we need the range divided by classes, yes. Okay. So in this case, our range is what? 34 divided by what? 7 classes. All right. So 7 goes into 34 4 times, but then we round what? Up. So this is going to be 4 point something, so we're going to round to 5. Okay? Remember, for the class, we always round up. Okay, so now that we have those 2, let's get our table started. Tell your neighbor what to label the first column. Let's see if they remember. Yes, class limit. Bam! Let's go. Class limit. So, our lowest was 100, is that correct? So we started at 100, then we go to 105, and we go to 110, then 115, then 120, then 125, then 130, then 135. Yes? Yes, Mr. Q. So to get started over here is one less from the second class, right? So the second class starts at 105, so right here it's what? 104. This one is 109. This one is 114. This one is 119, 124, 129, 134, and 139. Next, tell your neighbor what to label the next column. Next column. Boundaries. Class boundaries. Okay. So, tell your neighbor what to write for the first class. For the first class. Tell your neighbor what to write. All right, the first class. Melissa, what do I write? 99.5 to 104.5. That is correct. Then 104.5 to 109.5. Then 109.5 to 114.5. Then 114.5 to 119.5. 119.5 to 124.5, 124.5 to 129.5, 29.5, 129.5 to 134.5, and 134.5 to 139.5. Wait, how many classes? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I did an extra one, right? So we don't need this extra one at the end. There it is. All right. Now check this out. Look up really quick before you start with the next column. For today, since we're going to do something a little bit different, they want us to find the mean of the group data. I don't want you to do the tally on the next column. I want you to label this next column F. Tell your neighbor what F stands for. Now the frequency. Find me those frequencies, please. I'll give you some time. You can start scratching them out. Use color so you can keep each class separate if you want. Go. All right. So let's see. Get us started with the frequency. For the first class, what'd you get for the frequency, Jet?
I got
2. Hands if you got 2. Looks about right. Pass someone. Who? Amy, second class, from 104.5 to 109.5, how many? 18. Hands if you got 18. Yes? No? Maybe so? Did we get something different? 104 to 109? You're what? 7? Hands if you got 7? Still no? You guys okay? 8? I think 8 is correct. Hands if you got 8? Yes? Mom, people. All right, so that's 8. Pass someone, Amy. Zach? Still working on it? Okay. How about for class 114 to 119.5? What'd you get, Samuel? Still working on it? Okay. Ready, Zach? 16? Hands if you got 16 for the third class. No? You guys need more time? Hands if you need more time? Okay, I'll give you some more time. I'll wait so we can confirm that. All right, so let's see if we got it right. So we started off with 2 for the first class. Hands if you got 2. Okay. And you're not just copying, right? When they give me a number, you're actually verifying. Okay, good. Second class, 8. Hands if you got 8. Okay. Third class, 16. Third class, 17. Hands if you got 17. Some of you, okay. So, I'm assuming you're saying 18 for the third class? Yes, all right, so 18. Fourth class, what'd you get for the fourth class? Mia? What is it? All right, Pedro, go. 13, hands if you got 13. Looks about right. Next class. Maddie. 7, hands if you got 7. Looks about right. Second to the last, Patricia. 1, hands if you got 1. Looks about right. And the last 1, Lynn. 1, hands if you got 1. All right. So far up to right there, yes? All right. Next, I want you to label the next one midpoints. Midpoints. So, and in symbols, we're going to write X with a little m as a sub number right there. So we're going to find the midpoint of each class, okay? So let's look at the class limits. My bad. The class boundary, and find the midpoint. So find me the midpoints and write them here for each of the class boundaries, please. Go. I'll give you some time. Midpoint. All right, first midpoint. Andrew, what'd you get? Oh my goodness. Matthew, go. 102. Hands, we got 102. Next one, Aaron. 107. That is correct. Next one, JC. Next one, Samuel. 18. Very good. Next one, Eric. 22. Thank you. Pedro. Very good. 127. And the last one, Mary. Very good. 132. All right. And last but not least, here we go. To find the mean of the group data, pay attention to this part. We're going to need to multiply the frequency times the midpoints of each, and then find the mean of the entire column. So here we go. 2 times 102 is 204. 8 times 107 is 856. 18 times 112. Somebody calculator? What is it? 2016. 13 times 117, 1521. 7 times 122, 854. 127 and 132. And now we have to just add all of these and divide by how much, guys? Divide by 7, yes? Somebody give me the sum of all of these, please. 204 plus 856 plus 2016 plus 1521 plus 854 plus 127 plus 132 is 5,710. Divide that by 7. What is it? 815.71. And that's how we find the mean of the grouped data. Mean of the grouped data. Now, what's new for this table that we started with 2 weeks ago? Not this. We already know how to do the class limits, the boundaries. We already know how to do the frequency. So what's the only thing that's new? The midpoint and multiplying the frequency times the midpoint. And this is what we find the sum for all these numbers and then divide by the number of classes. From 1 to 5, I'll come before you with this. Yes? All right. So for home plate tonight, see, only 2 tables, only 2 midpoints. I'm sorry, 2 mean, group mean data that I need from you. I'll stop right there. We still have some more stuff that we're going to cover. We'll probably revisit that tomorrow. Maybe I'll give you a couple more terms that we need to cover, and we'll continue from there. All right? We'll stop right there. And have a good one, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.